Hi, it's Lucy here, and today I'm going to be creating 10 cards using gorgeous products from Journalsay. I'll also be picking a winner for the $50 Journalsay voucher that's coming up shortly. I'm only using a few supplies again today, yet the cards all look different and I hope you love them. I'm going to get straight into it like always and start creating my cards. First off, I have two pieces of white card that are slightly larger than my card bases. It doesn't matter what size your card is. If you're creating these, just make your card front a bit larger. That way you can just cut off any excess. I'll use my wide 4-inch double-sided tape. You can use any adhesives, but this wide tape is perfect for this technique too. I'm using a couple of different paper pads. They're quite thin papers and this works best for this technique I'm going to do for these card backgrounds. I'll also be using lots of butterflies today and they finish off the cards beautifully. I can't wait to show you all the cards at the end. I want to start tearing the papers as I'm going to create a collage. These papers are perfect to use as I mentioned. Number one, they're thin. And number two, some of the papers already have a collage type print on them. I could seriously do this all day. I love how they look. I love how they turn out. I started out, I was just going to make 3 cards for this video, but I couldn't stop. It was so much fun. So I haven't created them all on video, but you will see lots of different design ideas at the end too. So I'm really not overthinking it, and I think that's the main thing. You want it to be very natural and you just keep adding. And if there's a bit that you don't like, you can just cover it with another small piece or a large piece of card, of the pattern paper, whatever you want. If you feel like it needs a little bit of extra colour somewhere or you don't like a little bit of it, just go over it. It's great. And keep in mind that if you want that white torn look on the edges, if you tear towards you, the back piece will have the white tear. So sometimes I'll add it to one of the pieces of paper if they don't have it, just by tearing a little bit more off the side to give it that white edge. Because I think that gives a nice look in between sometimes as well on the card. I think the main thing to remember is once it's all down, to glue it all down properly, all of the little flaps that could be potentially sticking out. I find that once it's all glued down, it looks really good and cohesive together. And so this is a major step. And I just use a glue from my hardware store. It's called Sally's Aquadare. And maybe I'll pop that in the description below in case anyone's interested, because it's quite a good one. It does stick just about everything. It's for interior wood glue, but it seems to work pretty well. I don't over glue things because I don't want that warped look on my papers, especially with these sort of thin papers. You'll definitely get that warping otherwise. So a nice thin amount of glue, but enough that it sticks it all down together. So back to the card, and I've just chosen these stickers, which I really love with these papers. I think they go so well, even though the paper pad that I was using was very much marine style. It had a lot of water type papers. I feel like these butterflies and flowers go really nicely with it. I think the colours are very complementing. What do you think? Do you like this background with the butterfly? I just think the background looks amazing. Much more fun than just one sheet of paper. But I must admit, it is so addictive. So, get ready if you decide to try this. You'll be there hours just creating more and more. It's just so fun. And with these paper pads as well, I've even created a male version too, so you'll see that as well. And that one, I've used the ships and things that are on the paper, so it works perfectly. You can find male and female or masculine and feminine items in these sort of paper pads. It's perfect. I'll just show you this one more time, creating this one, and I'm going to add a little bit of purple to it in a moment, as I just wanted it to be a bit different from the other one. Every single one of them is always going to turn out differently as well, which is the most fun part about it too. No two will be the same, and they all turn out great. Let me know if you decide to try this. I would love to know. And the more you do it, the faster you get, I think, because you get more confident in how it's going to turn out in the end. But I've tried to give lots of different ideas at the end as well for design ideas, so they don't all look like this. These two are probably the most similar, but I just wanted to show you again how I put them together. And so as you can see with this one, I decided I wanted to add some purple, and so I'm just adding it wherever I feel like it needs a little pop of purple colour to add in there. And so it's so easy just to add a little bit of extra colour from somewhere else too. Instead of glue, you could use a Mod Podge and go over the entire piece to give it a gloss look. So I'm just adding double-sided tape to the card base, and then I'll add that to the back of the pretty background and cut off any excess. And that's the easiest way to do it. There's no measuring. You can choose subtle butterflies like these pastel ones, or you can go moodier ones with contrasting butterflies, and I've chosen the contrasting purple butterflies. I really love how they look on this, but I do use the pastel ones on a different card. So I'll choose which are my favorite butterflies for this particular card, and then all I need to do is just roll the sticker off the backing. And I find this really easy to do, and if you have any sort of issues trying to roll it off, then just find another spot on the sticker and you'll find one that rolls off easily. I'm also going to add some of this washi tape. It's a script one, and oh my gosh, I love it. I put it on a few cards and it just it creates a little bit of an extra something to the cards. It's really easy to tear as well, and I just think it looks great. I didn't like it over the butterfly wing though, so I will take that bit off after. And I'll add a sentiment and nouveau drops, and then this card is done, and I think it looks so pretty. What do you think? I'll be interested to see which is your favorites out of the 10 cards that I create after. And then I'm going to choose the winner now of the Journalsay $50 voucher. And you can get so much for $50. This is US dollars too. And the winner is Patty Myers. Well done. Congratulations, Patty. If you can contact me at lovebypaper@gmail.com as soon as possible, that'll be great. And then I can let them know your details and they can send you the voucher. To everyone else, I still have a couple more competitions still going, so you can add your names to those videos if you like. And now on to this next card, and I'm making a thinner strip, and I should have cut it shorter or made it longer so that I could create two out of it, as I've kind of wasted a lot. I have one rectangle left. I will probably use it in some capacity, maybe die cutting it, but yeah, it just makes it a little bit more difficult when it's a smaller piece. And I'm using yellows this time and florals from this paper pack, and I'm going to add the script washi tape first so that that's at the bottom, and then I can add over the top of it, and parts of that will be peeking out, and I think that's a really nice look as well. I'm making this card for my teenage niece, and although it's very florally, I think it's still going to suit a teenager in the end. Whereas if I'd used one of these pieces of paper by themselves, I think it would have been too mature for a teenager. I hope there's not too much background noise here today. I've got the air conditioning on because it's going to be 36 degrees here. It's very hot, and we're not quite used to it. We're in the third month of summer and it hasn't been that hot so far. And just in case you're wondering, I'm in Melbourne, Australia. So this is the last card I'm showing on how I've created it, and then we'll see all of the other different designs. And I would love to hear if you're interested in seeing more of this type of style. I can for sure, I know I will be making more cards like this. It's just so fun. But as to whether I do it on video, that's up to you guys. I love to hear what you're interested in and what you like to see and what you don't. And I do like to try to show you different techniques and different things, mostly always using pattern paper really. If this is the first time you're watching my channel or me using these type of tapes, this is a PET tape, which is like a washi tape, but it has a transparent background. It does feel different as well. And this one has a matte finish, whereas a lot of them have a glossy finish. So I want to add another little black accent. So I've just cut a strip of paper and I'll glue that down, and that'll give a nice black border there, and it helps to bring in that butterfly. I'll add the sentiment, and then I want to put Imogen's name on it, so I'm going to die cut out of the black glossy paper as well her name, so that I can add that to the card front. There's no capital letters in this set, so I'm using the L as a capital I, so that works perfectly. I'm going to add some of the scripty washi tape to the sides. I feel like it just needs something else, so I will do it on both sides, and then I'll just cut off the overhanging bits. I can keep the rest of it on that tape roll, and that way I can use that in the future as well. So on the other side, I decided to use my Sharpie pen to create a smaller border, but I really didn't like how that turned out. So all I'll do is go over it with glue and then put a thinner strip of the black glossy paper, and this solves my problem, and I prefer it having this black border. I'll use my Nuvo drops as well, and I'll create a little butterfly trail, and I think that looks really sweet. I'll also use my yellow pearl drops as well, and that's just going to create a little body on the butterfly so that it's not flat. And then the card's finished, and then I will start showing you all of the different ones that I've made. So here's card number 1, and I used those pastel butterflies on that one, and the scripty washi tape again, and then just an old sentiment that I'd printed up in the past. And then this second card I did on video, and it has the scripty washi tape as well, and they really feel lovely. It's got a lovely textured background. This third card I used the scripty washi tape on the white background, and then I used one big piece that I tore, and I gave that a black border as well. I used white and black Nuvo drops and white Nuvo drops on the wings for it. And then the next card is the one I made for my gorgeous niece Imogen, which you just saw me create. And then this is the first card that I made on video, and I still really love how this one turned out. I'm going to be really interested to see which the favourite card is, as I have a few of them today. I can't choose an absolute favourite. And this card I added long strips of the papers, and then I added the girl and the flower stickers, and then die cut that circle out. And I really like how that turned out too. And then I made a masculine version, and this was using the scraps left on my desk. A lot of them had different types of ships and boats, so I added all of those, and I inked the edges, and then I just mounted it onto some different coloured brown papers as well. I love the pop of blue on it too. So this is the 8th card, and this is for another gorgeous niece of mine, Mabel. I tore strips of the papers and added it across the bottom of the card this time. And then I added some of the scripty washi tape again too, which I absolutely love. With the wooden alphas, I inked them with my Distress Oxide inks, and then I heat embossed them with a clear embossing ink over the top. My niece is quite young, but I still think that it turned out age appropriate. This is card number 9, and this is actually one piece. It looks collaged because of the design of the paper, and I tore it at the bottom as the paper isn't long enough for my whole card. And then I added some white card and tore that too underneath for the height and added weight of it too. And the last card, number 10, and I love this washi script, so I decided to make it a main feature. And then I just added some orange floral stickers and a butterfly that matched it. I also added some Nuvo drops and a rub-on near the sentiment, and just a black border, and then that card was also finished, and I think it turned out quite beautiful as well. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Congratulations again to the winner. Please contact me within a week. And if you've enjoyed this video or learnt anything new, please give it a thumbs up. And hopefully you'll subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I'll also have product links to all the items that I've used in this video today as well. And thanks again to Journalsay for the $50 voucher that I got to give away to one of you today. And I will see you in the next video. Happy crafting and bye for now.